Welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Josh from Grand Slam Cards. Just started flickering again. We got Michael over here from Medium Rare Cards over on the gram. Jacob hanging out, moderating. It's Cobb. We're here to talk some shop. Hope you're all doing well. Is this where Jacob gives them a rundown of what they're in store for this episode?
Absolutely. Jacob, I'm calling you in. Usually what I do is I start babbling and then do the rundown. So get to it.
So this is episode 112 of the podcast. We're going to start off with prom night and a night to remember for Michael's son. And we're all going to reminisce about our senior prom nights. Some were further in the past than others. And a surprising public tiff involving Panthers owner David Tepper. Then the NBA playoffs are heating up. Are there any upsets brewing, and how will this affect some stars' cards? I don't know. I don't follow basketball, but they do. In other hobby news, we unpack the uproar over Tom Brady's autograph signing and its fallout. We're going to cover a story of a rare Shohei Ohtani card and PSA's new 30-day grading goal and the death of SGC. But first, Michael, take it away.
So this weekend was a big weekend for my oldest son, Cameron, and it was prom night. So a couple things. Here's Josh's prom picture.
In my defense, I had better hair than that in high school.
There we go. And I think there's another one, as if Josh and I went to prom together. There's another photo, right?
I got you.
So here's another one.
Is it the orange and blue suits that we wore?
Absolutely.
There you go.
You and your photo. Yeah. That should be the thumbnail for the episode.
Josh, I think we have one of Jacob, don't we? We do.
Yeah, except his wasn't as old though.
Mine was not that long ago.
Yeah, his. Let me see if I've got it here.
Mine was about 8 years ago.
Yeah. So here we go.
Oh boy.
So here's one of Jacob.
Jacob, you were in a hair band?
It's unbelievable.
I have long hair senior year.
Crazy, right? I don't know if you've got blonde hair with brown roots or brown hair with blonde tips, but I
was bringing frosted tips back a few years ago.
Don't stop believing. Don't ever stop believing.
Our photos were Photoshopped. That one, there you go. That's Photoshop, but Jacob's was real.
Well, anyway, so number one, when I went to my senior prom, I remember having to pay for my tuxedo rental, and it was $100.
I think that's what mine was.
Care to guess what a decent tuxedo rental these days is?
$300.
Almost on the nose. $300. But he looked great. They had a great time. Social media certainly changes the whole prom thing.
I'll bet.
I mean, pictures upon pictures upon pictures, but all was well. What do you guys remember about your senior prom?
I got a bloody nose during it, and I spent like 40 minutes in the bathroom.
Of course you did. Nothing ever normal happens to you. Of course you got a bloody nose during your prom. Of course.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I can remember. In my defense, it was, 26 years ago?
Yeah, long time. Jacob, how about you? What was your senior prom like?
Well, I went to 2 that year.
Whoa.
One was at the beach.
Someone sits at the popular table at school.
Well, I didn't go junior year, so I had to make up for it.
Well, if I had hair like that, I would have gone to 2 as well.
I went with a group of people, and I left with a different group of people. And then
I bet your date loved that.
And then the other one, I was friends with the foreign exchange student, and her host parents were evidently loaded, and I didn't know that until that night. So she invited 8 of us back to their house. And when I tell you their driveway was a parking lot, I cannot exaggerate.
It's nice.
It was crazy.
Nice.
That's all I remember.
Yeah, like I didn't realize. I mean, we had our senior prom at a nice place in downtown Charleston, but Cameron's prom was at the Fillmore, down by next to NC Music Factory, and it was just strange seeing like grown-up bars right next to the place where my son's going to prom.
What happened to
But-
doing it in the high school gym like we did?
No. I mean, you're talking Superman 3 at that point. Remember, we were talking about Superman 3 last
We
episode.
had one. We had one at a hotel on the Strand at the beach, and then my schools we had it at the Country Club in Florence.
Fancy.
Reminds me of Back to the Future, the Enchantment Under the Sea.
Oh
dance.
yeah.
That's what ours was.
Well, it took me down memory lane. It's like full circle when you see your kid going through things like rite of passage stuff, because not all of us fish with our sons and have those memories. But if you don't know what we're talking about, watch the previous episode. Watch the past 2. I was surprised there wasn't a fishing story with this one.
Well, I'll tell you, we went fishing yesterday. Afternoon for a couple hours, and we didn't catch anything. First time.
Shut out.
So it happens.
But glad that Cameron and I hadn't heard anything about his friend circle, but it seems like everybody got home safe, which was the priority. So a good time was had by all. How about how was the weekend in the shop?
Weekend in the shop was good. I'm trying to think. Nothing crazy out of the ordinary. Just a good, steady Friday, Saturday like we usually have, and then we're closed on Sunday, so that's usually when we
go fish.
Do the family stuff, go to church, do a little shopping, and went fishing.
Fantastic. Jacob, anything exciting this past weekend for you?
Just moving furniture for the painter.
Wow.
That's about it.
Wow.
We live exciting lives.
No. Now that everybody's fired up for the episode, let's move on to the next subject of the opening rip, which is going to add a little bit of hopefully discussion and some laughter. Check this out, guys. Now you sent this, right, Jacob?
I think Josh sent this one.
Josh.
I didn't send this one.
I didn't send this one either, so it was you because this one
Jacob.
would have went right by me. So for you guys that are just listening, there's this photo in uptown Charlotte. It says, "Please let the coach and GM pick this year." And apparently the owner of the Panthers had a little bit of an issue with it. Actually saw this, and the post from the Sporting News says, Panthers owner David Tepper pulled up to a Charlotte area restaurant to complain about a sign out front poking fun at reports that he meddles in the team's draft process. Guys, what do you got on this? I mean, what do you guys think?
Good for them. I mean, what's he going to say? He doesn't? Is that his defense? He goes in there and say, "I don't," just so you know?
Not just that. I mean,
it's not like he can make them change the sign.
What does a billionaire care what somebody puts on the restaurant sign?
Yeah. Well, someone's comment says the fact this hurt his fragile ego says a lot about him.
No kidding.
If you're going to go in there, you got to go in there and like high five him over the sign and like build some good rapport, laugh at yourself, laugh at the sign, sign some autographs, take some pictures.
I mean,
Instead,
this would be
go in there and make
this would have been a perfect opportunity to build some relationship equity with the fans and have fun with this and make light of it, laugh at yourself. But this guy's like, wow, I don't know. He didn't have a lot of relationship equity to burn, and so now I think he's even more in the negative. We got a couple comments from Garrett Stewart 778 on IG. He says, "What's up? Are all you guys going to the National?" Josh?
I am. I don't know about Michael. We haven't really talked about it.
No, we have not talked about it. I do not think I will be able to tear away this year. I started a fairly new position, so haven't built up that PTO yet. So
that'll give you next year's target.
That's right. Jacob, are you heading to the National?
I don't know yet.
But speaking of that, and Garrett Stewart 778, thank you for chiming in and asking that. We're less than 90 days out, guys, from the National. Should be very interesting.
Before we move on from the Panthers owner, how about we talk about the owner of another team? And the Panthers owner had his ego hurt. This guy was selling a wrestling story from the night before. He got attacked on Wednesday night. He shows up Thursday for the draft in a neck brace.
That's a good owner. I don't like him. I think he's an idiot, but I like the fact he did that.
That was one of the smartest things he's done, I think.
Okay, so educate me here, guys. Is there a backstory to this? What's going on?
His dad owns the Jaguars.
His dad owns the Jaguars. He owns AEW, the rival wrestling company to WWE. And the episode the night before the draft, a couple of the bad guys came out, made it think they were going to shake his hand, then beat him up and gave him a pile driver. And so he lays in the ring lifeless. The medics come out and take care of him. So the whole thing was like
ran out, which was surprising.
Yeah, it's like hopefully this guy's smart enough to show up to the draft tomorrow, at least milking the injury, and he did, which is good.
See, that's fantastic. So that's an example of an owner who's not tone deaf about what's happening in the world and what people are saying, and taking advantage of it. So good on him. Guys, let us know what you think about the Tepper situation and that situation in the comments below. But let's move on to new in the shop. Josh, what's hitting the shelves this week at Grand Slam?
All right, so let's talk about a couple things that came out since the last podcast. So we know Topps Heritage launched. We carried hobby boxes, mega boxes. I feel like we carried one other product. Maybe not. Hobby and megas. This arrived, and it's new in the shop. I think it launches. Let's see if it's on blowouts. I got to look at it might be out already, but it's on the shelf regardless. But these are go back. These are mini hobby boxes, and
literally and figuratively.
Yeah. So it's like, think of it like almost half the price of a hobby box. You get 12 packs. 10 cards per pack, but the cards are smaller. They're the mini size. So think of back to the 1975 original Topps. I think they did a miniature, not that small. They're like this small. No, bigger than that. But yeah, so because of that, kind of a tribute to that set, they came out with these. Every box, we sell these for $59.99 a box. Every box has 3 numbered cards, guaranteed. They mix autographs in there like they do on the hobby boxes. I saw a couple open today. Like the first card we saw out of it was a Yogi Berra numbered to 15, which I thought was pretty sweet. So, yeah, little miniature version. Like I said, they're about this size. You got to look at them close to make sure they're smaller, but it's kind of a tribute to the 1975 set that did the same thing. So that this hit the shop today. Now you can go to the next picture, Jacob. No one really, this is a new product, and so let me give the rundown on this. This is Rare Edition, and we talked about the grading company Rare Edition. This is them. I actually met with them at the last National and gave them a card to have graded there, and we showed it on the podcast. This product is a buyback product by them. So every box has 1 buyback card. This is a football edition. I don't know why. The reason it says multiverse, I think, is because you can get a graded card from PSA, SGC, Beckett, or Rare. Rare's my favorite looking. PSA would be the most valuable. It's loaded with, it's all football, but it's loaded with stars. There's a couple really big chasers in the product. They gave a list of some of them. PSA 10 Prism Mahomes rookie, 9.5 Bowman Chrome Brady rookie, Bowman. I think. I don't think it was a Chrome, but regardless, that's a juicy one. Lamar Jackson Prism PSA 10, I believe. So some really nice chasers in the product. It's $2.99 per box, so it's not cheap, but it's one of those where you're probably going to get a banger of a card. If you don't make money on it, you at least won't lose a bunch of money. Do you have – so one was opened a little bit ago right in front of me. I took a picture of the card that came out of it. Jacob, it's the Origins one. I think I sent you a picture of it, did I?
Yeah.
And while Jacob's pulling that up, we got a couple people asking questions about how much for the rare edition buyback cards.
$299.99, so $300 per box. Not every card is guaranteed graded. I think a lot of them are. You can get stuff like this. So this was a box where you're like, I didn't make any money, but I got a Jamar Chase rookie auto. That's pretty sweet. So I feel like this is the lowish end. And that's saying something. You get a sweet card like that. And a lot of the other stuff would be graded. So we've never carried it before. It's a brand new product, but it just hit the shelves. That's some stuff that has hit the shelves. Coming this week, I believe on Wednesday is Recon Basketball. Nice. And that is, Wemby's going to be the chase. That's the 23-24 Recon Basketball. And then that's kind of it. We're going to talk Bowman Baseball next Monday because that launches on Wednesday. But the shelves are full at Grand Slam. We've been keeping them stocked. So we've got fill-ins of a bunch of football hobby products. And while we're talking, visit the break page. I've got these two that we're filling right now, a hobby box of Illusions Football. Super cheap. There you go, Jacob. And Spectra Football, which is always a super gorgeous product. So those two breaks are filling now. The Select Baseball break just filled. Michael, we flushed that turd. It is done. Now we can rip it. So those boxes are behind me. We'll rip those probably right after the podcast.
Fantastic. Just to catch up on some more comments, AJ Thornwell on the IG is asking, how many cards in the rare edition box? Is that just one card?
One high-end buyback card.
There you go. And he also said Heritage is good stuff. Derek Ebersole. Tepper is a dumpster fire. Dude is still pissed off that they traded all that draft capital and still didn't pick Stroud. Not wrong.
There's a lot of people that believe that way, and they would be right.
Thanks for the update on what's hitting the shelves and those two breaks. Check out the break page. And now we got a word from our sponsor. Take it away, Jacob.
Are you looking to get your cards graded? Well, here at Grand Slam, we've simplified the process of submitting and getting a card graded. All you have to do is drop off your cards and kick your feet up, while our transparent tracking ensures that you are up to date with every detail along the way. When you log into our website, you'll immediately be greeted with each card in the grading process, along with where it's at in the process and its final grade. And with over 1,000 submissions and some of the top cards across the country being submitted through us, we have become a well-trusted source to handle and submit your cards. So you can do more collecting and leave the chore of grading to us. So don't sit on grading your cards. Get them submitted today at Grand Slam, where grading's made easy. There you go. Thank you, sponsor.
Yes. Thank you for you.
Stick around. We have a card that a customer dropped off to be graded with us. That will be our card from the shop in just a little bit, and it's a sweetie. We've got some info on the card too, so stay
Nice.
tuned.
All right, now to hobby news, sort of a carryover from last week. I realize sometimes we talk about sports, and we're certainly not a sports podcast. We're a card podcast. So I wanted to bring back up the NBA playoff picture, sort of get a current snapshot of that, and then actually look at some card prices of some major players. So this is where we stand as of now. I sent this to you guys last night, so this may have updated. Did the Nuggets? I guess the Nuggets didn't close out the Lakers. Nothing happened last night. Nobody got closed out. So this is where we stand.
The Suns got closed out. I don't know if that's up to you, but
yeah. The Timberwolves, yes. Yep. So the Timberwolves advance, and then everybody else is looking like some of these series are pretty competitive.
Yeah.
So anything stick out to you first before we look at these cards, Josh? Any surprises?
I agree with what a ESPN commentator said today when they were talking about the T-Wolves. Anthony Edwards looks like the potential face of the league, superstar. He was looking like Jordan last night.
Yeah. And he's a great interview, apparently.
Oh, I didn't even see the interview. I just saw
apparently he's outspoken and funny and sharp with a microphone in his hand. So he's slated to be the face of the league. So
yeah, pulling for my Mavericks.
Well, there you go. Speaking of Mavericks, let's take a look at some card prices. And I peeked at these, and I was a little surprised. So go ahead and let's look at your guy Luka first. So if you could scroll down. So this is Card Ladder. We're not sponsored by them. This is the free version. The two tools like this, obviously, are Card Ladder and then Market Movers. But I just picked Card Ladder for this segment here. This is 3 months. And so you could see there's a little bit of movement. But if you look at that overall, it's pretty flat. Now, if you go 2 weeks, Jacob, see where it says 3 months. If you just toggle that to the right, down, all the way to the right. There it is. And just go 2 weeks. Still flat for Luka, and he's playing well, and they have a chance to advance. So still some downward pressure with regards to card prices. Josh, you've got some Luka, right? Or no?
Yeah. I've talked a few. I mean, and I think he struggled last game, and the series is tied 2-2. You probably need to see a decisive performance and some wins and some advancement there before you see people get too hyped up about raising the prices on him. But did you have anyone else on there pulled up?
Yeah. So that's Luka. And if you guys, before you move on, if you guys are just listening to this and not seeing it on video, it looks like go back to 3 months or maybe just a month. Jacob on Luka. So a month ago, this is just his base PSA 10, his base rookie. A month ago, it was just over 250, and now it's just under 250 over a month. So that's 4 weeks. I don't know if 4 weeks gets us back to the beginning of the playoffs, but it's close. But Josh, I think you're right. I think he's going to need to advance, and then advance against a team that he's going to play well against for this to show any movement upward.
And you got to think too, in 2 months, a $35 swing is not a huge swing.
No.
So he really, that's kind of a level line if you think.
Yeah. If you look at this, if you stretch this out, it's pretty flat. How about the next player we're going to look at is SGA?
Yeah, I was wondering if a Thunder player would get pulled up.
Yeah, and you could see this card's all over the place. Now this is the base. All of these are bases except the last card. So this is a base PSA 10 Prism SGA, and you could see this is all over the place over the last 3 months. Go ahead and go to.
That's still a small window. I mean, you're talking $80 to $90. I mean, that's pretty flat. It got as high as
flat.
what, 120?
120, and now it's flat. So
back down where it was.
Yeah. Any thoughts on them? I haven't watched enough to talk intelligently about it. I just know that he's sort of emerged as the guy. I mean, he's been the guy for that team, but now he's got a few years under his belt, and so he's a legit superstar. I think SGA is. Thoughts on that, Josh?
Yeah, I think again, see some advancement. People know he's talented. They want to see it lead to results in the league. You know, these guys got to win some series and make it far and carry a team on their back. And then people start thinking, all right, it's more than just a hot stretch from a good player. Got to separate themselves into superstardom.
Well, speaking of a guy that's legit superstar, and everybody, including me, since I've picked him for the last 3 seasons to win an NBA title, Jason Tatum, we're looking at his Prism rookie, just base. And you could see here, over the last 3 months, up $33. And he's playing unbelievably. The Celtics look really, really good. And so this is one that's actually shown some upward movement. Go ahead and switch to the 2-week view. But over the last 2 weeks, pretty flat, guys. So everybody is still holding their breath with regards to Jason Tatum, and rightfully so, right? He's got to get over the hump. But once he starts winning some championships, never know. Start seeing a little bump. And the last person we're going to look at is Tyrese Halliburton. Now, I don't know if he's healthy or not. I do know, well, looking at this.
It's a silver. Oh, yeah, you said the last one wasn't a base.
The last one is silver. Yeah. Not good for Tyrese. So I'm guessing he's hurt?
Someone comment. For some reason, I feel like he's not. Are they losing? Did they lose? They haven't lost a series. I know that.
No, they're about to
back spasms.
Oh, there you go.
58 minutes ago.
So, I mean, they're about to eliminate the Bucks. I don't know if I just jinxed them, but that's crazy to think the Bucks are going to go out in the first round.
No Giannis, so I mean,
Giannis.
Yeah.
So, and they'd have to face, I guess, the Knicks the next round, and so they wouldn't see the Celtics until the Eastern Conference Finals. So maybe Halliburton will start creeping up as far as card values. So I know we don't do that a lot, guys, looking at card values, but pay attention to this stuff. If you think that there's a player or two playing for a team that's got some good momentum, basketball is way down, way down. And so there may be some opportunities there. Let us know in the comments who you guys are wanting to sort of pick up.
And the hottest player on all of Card Ladder isn't even in the playoffs. He's Wemby.
Yep. And he's carried every single product this year as far as basketball.
He's had a good rookie campaign. So.
Absolutely. So, all right. Let us know who you guys are picking for the NBA Finals. Let us know if you guys are picking up any players on those teams and your thoughts on that. What do you got for us next, Jacob?
How about we talk about Josh's boy here?
I've been looking forward to this.
Y'all better be real careful here about it.
We haven't even began to talk about this in our group chat because we were saving it for this.
Yes. So, full disclosure, I have no idea what happened. I just saw the photos. Apparently, he was at an event.
That's all you had to see.
And he just started going crazy with the Sharpie. What happened here, guys?
Yeah, I had heard this also before this article that, just like the people were not happy with the quality of his autograph at this signing. Let's just say that. So,
was it like $3,600?
if that were my football, I probably wouldn't be happy. The cleats right below it or whatever those are is not bad because I've seen his autograph enough. But yeah, you got to think if he didn't do this on purpose because maybe there's some reason for it, but like maybe he said, I'm going to purposely not do a good job on these because of XYZ reason. But if not, and he's heard about this, I'm sure he's the type of guy that will take heed for the next event, right?
But why? I get it.
It's a little weird.
That's a lot of money on an autograph.
No, but why would he's never, excuse my French, he's never half-assed anything in his life. And this just seems like he just went through the motions. I don't know, man. I don't know if he got cornered into this and tried to have his agent back out and they wouldn't let him out of the contract. So he went in there pissed off. But holy cow. I mean, he's getting some backlash on this. And look, he's TB12, right? We talk about relationship equity and sort of equity with his fans. He's got a whole bunch built up. But I mean, I have read a couple things that he thought that this was a VIP event for a certain group, and it ended up just being collectors that wanted their stuff signed.
That could lean into, he says, you know what, I'm not going to, you guys are just trying to profit off me. I'm not going to give you awesome autographs.
The good. Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, what if you waited in line all day long and you got your autograph like that, since you are the Brady guy?
Brady could slap my mother and I'd be okay with it.
Oh, yes.
Just
something
kidding,
quotable.
Mom.
Yes.
Just
Clip
kidding,
that.
Mom.
Clip that. And
No,
have
for
it
sure.
on
I'd be.
repeat.
For sure
Mother's
I'd be
Day. Mother's Day is like 2 weeks away, so that's a good.
Well, I saw people had like 5 or 6 items that they were getting signed, and that adds up fast. Whether they're flippers or not, they still paid the price of admission. Because I've talked about it before. I go to conventions a lot, and some people couldn't care less to be there. Other people are going to take time with every single person. Next thing you know, you're in a 3-hour line. So
yeah, it's not good. It's a bummer. I'm sure there's a reason behind it. That doesn't seem like him. So, I mean, his hand was probably tired. He's getting ready to make a comeback and be a quarterback for Raiders.
Here we go. Yeah, I'm reading here. It says some Brady seemed uncomfortable with the arrangement, having expected a different kind of signing event, primarily for conference VIPs rather than major collectors. And this is interesting. It says post-event, there were challenges in verifying the authenticity of the autographs, complicating the collectors' efforts to confirm the value of their signed items. Do you think he tanked this so they could not get them authenticated?
I almost feel like on that football that was pictured there, I think that's so bad it has to be on purpose. And maybe that guy was just a major jerk. You know, maybe it does
Spoken like
sure
a
seem
true
like
Brady collector.
it sure does seem like they abused Tom and this was their payback.
Wow.
And then they bring up that you can get a signed Brady football on Fanatics for $2,200.
Yeah,
from this event, or
no,
just
like
straight
in
up?
general. It's later on in the article. See,
I mean that looks like the autograph I've seen.
Yeah.
That first picture, that ball is pretty bad. I'll have to say that ain't going. If you walked that ball into
Look at this. What in the world?
you walk that into PSA, they're going to say, "I'm sorry, we cannot authenticate that."
Yeah. I don't know, guys. Look, I get it. that he may have been disenchanted with the audience there, and that yes, people are going to be flipping these things.
If that's the case, at least he still went through with it instead of just no showing.
There
But
you go,
there
Jacob.
has
I like
there
your
has to be more to it.
I like the spirit there, Jacob.
Yes, but the flip side of that is somebody could have been
He's hurting the
a true
fans rather
fan,
than the company.
like a true Brady collector that these things aren't going anywhere. A true fan that they took out a loan to go see him and get stuff signed, and then he go. I mean,
Yeah.
you just never know, man. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Thumbs down, unless there's a good.
Yeah, I agree.
Good, so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll hear some more stuff and give you guys an update later at a later episode. Tell us what you think, guys.
I'll let me just reach out to him real quick and see why
okay.
he did it.
Give him a quick text. Guys, let us know in the comments. What do you guys think of Tom Brady and how he handled this autograph event?
He still got me blocked.
I know. He's got that restraining order. What we got next, Jacob?
All right. Everybody's favorite betting boy. I mean, allegedly. How about the one of one Shohei?
Saw that.
So, first of all, one of the coolest names of an insert ever.
Oh, thank God you didn't say coolest name for break group, because I was about to make fun of a breaking name. Gucci Rips. Every time I see a break, these breaker names just drive me insane.
No, look at the name of this insert in this is Topps Chrome Black Baseball. This came out about a month ago, Josh?
Yeah, a little less.
This is the one of one, if you guys are just listening. The one of one Shohei Ohtani Depths of Darkness Superfractor. That just
and it's got breaking glass with the gold vinyl behind it. Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I actually dropped this into this because I just wanted to say that that's probably my favorite name for an insert in the history of inserts. So not much else to say about it.
I like this. It says, the collector named Matt is an engineering manager who bought a personal box from Breaker at Gucci Rips. After hitting the card, Matt said, I share my card collection passion with my fiance and kids. And seeing that excitement when we pulled that card makes the hobby that much sweeter. And one of the comments says, Matt didn't pull anything. The Breaker pulled it for him. Still cool. I'd still be excited, but it's not the same as ripping the pack yourself. I agree, Patrick. Go into a hobby shop and buy a box.
Wow. Cold, wet blanket on that.
Truth hurts.
The gold is in the comments, right? We should troll.
Always.
Oh, yeah. Always in the comments.
All right. What's our last story for hobby news, Jacob?
Little PSA news.
Yes. Saw this come across.
Believe this when I see it.
PSA sets future goal of under 30-day turnarounds for all submission levels. Quick thoughts on this, guys, before I give my take.
I smell a price hike.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know. I just think I'll believe it when I see it. It'd be awesome if it's true. I mean, the hobby has changed to the point now where just graded cards are a huge part of it. You almost see more of that than you do raw. And I'm okay with the price hike. You have to figure out a way to keep the base cards out of this and out of graded slabs. So,
see, for me, I think this is, and I mentioned it in either the rundown read or in the show notes. This is a clear signal that SGA is going away. SGC. I'm sorry, not SGA. SGC is going away. It's the only advantage that SGC has is their quick turnaround. If PSA gets to this number and they don't have a price hike, they that's to me that's a clear signal that the tuxedo is going away.
I'm going to be devil's advocate. I don't think the tuxedo SGC is going away because the people that grade with SGC now are completely capable of grading with PSA now. And I know there's a little faster turnaround, but lately it hadn't been that much faster. And there is a lot of people that hate PSA and like SGC. And so that's my devil's advocate argument. I don't think SGC will go anywhere, only because there's too many people that prefer them over PSA. Would they like their resale value to be higher? Yes, but
we'll have the gym rate next week too, so we can see how SGC did.
Yeah, but I'm talking 2 years from now. This is the first. Yeah. This is the first stake in the ground to say we're going to take away any sort of competitive advantage and reason why. I mean, I know that you don't like PSA, Josh. I know you don't like PSA. You hadn't kept that a secret.
But I send all my stuff there.
Right. But there's got to be a large group of people that submit with SGC simply for the faster turnaround times. There's got to be a percentage there of just that. And if that goes away, they're not going to Beckett for slower stuff. They're not going to go to CGC. Yeah. They're going to PSA. No, and so now you're talking if they're only doing 100,000 cards a month just for the simple math, and 50% of those people just want faster turnarounds, you go from 100,000 to 50,000 the minute PSA can hit this number, and then it becomes untenable.
But in order to get the turnaround time down, you're going to have to hire more people. Then you're not going to be able to screen them like you need to. And then you already know what to expect from SGC. PSA could be hiring Joe Schmo down the street to grade cards. And there goes, because there's already like discrepancies already. And that's with them having the name they have and their ridiculous turnaround times.
Yeah, but there's another way to get your turnaround times faster besides hiring a bunch of people, and that's increase the price. And when you increase the price, you just give SGC that much more of a leverage on that part of it. And I agree with you, Michael. There is a percentage. I think the percentage of people that grade at SGC for speed is less than you are giving credit to. So you say 50%, I say it's 20%. And a price hike may keep PSA's turnaround times fast for those that want maximum resale value and still allow SGC to not take a big hit. So, yeah, like you said, this is a year down the road before you're going to see any of this come to fruition. But that's my devil's advocate take.
We'll see. I feel like we can't go 2 or 3 episodes without talking about grading companies. It's been so frenetic.
Part of the hobby.
It is, but they're always changing, always moving. I mean, it's crazy to see, especially a player like PSA, which is I don't know what their top line revenue is, but usually a company that the bigger they get, the slower they move. And I feel like PSA is so agile. They try to keep up with these smaller companies. And whatever happens with the smaller companies, they just match it. And it's like watching a cat play with a mouse. I mean, it's sadly enough. So we'll see. We'll see. Guys, let us know what you guys think. If you are with if you're team tuxedo and PSA gets their submissions turnarounds to 30 days, are you guys making the switch? Let us know in the comments.
If you like to submit to SGC first, tell us why. Is it price, turnaround time, or look of the slab, or disdain for PSA? I would like to know.
Absolutely. All right. Next is card from the vault or hits from the shop. What do you got for us, Josh?
Jacob's going to put a card up on the screen. If you follow our Instagram or Facebook page, you saw me post this. A customer brought this card in along with the rest of the set that this card belongs to. This is a 1980 Charlotte O's Cal Ripken Jr. card. So this is, I think,
Cool.
like considered his first card, and it came in a little set. They did an orange border card of this that is a little rarer than this. This is the blue border. People look at that card and be like, man, that thing's beat up. They're going to send that in for grading. It's purely for authentication and slabbing purposes, because no matter what this card grades for, it sells well. We did a little research and looked the card up. So for the orange border one that I said was a little rarer, there are the total amount graded 27 of the orange border card graded. There are no 9s and no 10s.
Wow.
The blue border one that we're looking at here and that we have sent to PSA for a customer, the total graded is 78.
Wow.
So there's 78 of this card. There is not a 9 or a 10 in existence of this card in PSA. So that's pretty awesome. This card is was reprinted a lot. And so when you're looking this card up online, you'll see a lot of $20 sales. And then you look at the description and it's a reprint. The actual ones of this are worth a lot of money. This card will not grade well. This is probably a 3 or a 4. But people just want this card. They just want to know it's authentic. And she had the rest of the set and was curious about whether it was worth getting the whole set graded. And our answer was no. There's 32 cards plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards that don't have a number. Looks like a logo card and the Pepper Girls card and a few others in that set. But he's the only one out of the whole set that's worth being graded. If you look at the pop report, one card will have 8 cards graded. One card will have 7 cards graded. 9, 8, 9, 10, 10. Cal Ripken, 78. So everyone's grading that card. I would guess the other graded ones are probably because someone graded the whole set.
Yeah.
So
Super
pretty
cool.
sweet.
I've never seen this card. I've never
It's
seen
also
this
cool 'cause
card.
It's kind of local.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
this
local
is
here,
fantastic.
which is why I've seen this card multiple times in the store over the years. It's probably because we are so close to Charlotte. And that the people that got these at that game back then probably live in the area and are still in the area. So
Super cool.
super cool card. We'll when it comes back from PSA, we'll prove that it was authentic and we'll show it on the pod.
Awesome. Anything else? Any other hits from the shop? Nothing?
No, nothing crazy. I'll put something together maybe for next week of a bunch of stuff that's been recently hit. We did show that Jamar Chase that came out of that rare edition product earlier. But stay tuned after the podcast. You can watch us open Select Baseball. Maybe we'll have some hits there to show off.
There you
Also,
go.
if you want a box of that rare multiverse opened, let us know because I might buy one to open up on the channel.
There you go. Guys, if you've made it this far, thank you. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. Leave a review. But before we go, Josh, you have a crazy stat for us.
I do. Tanner Houck, do you know him? Am I saying his name right? Tanner Houck, he's a pitcher for the Red Sox.
Yep.
He pitched a complete game shutout not long ago this season. The entire game lasted 1 hour and 49 minutes. Did you
I
see
think
that?
I saw this. I think the post that I saw was like he went complete Greg Maddux on the other team.
Yeah, I didn't see the highlights or anything. I saw that stat come across my feed. And that's like, back in the day, baseball games were 3 hours. That's like almost cutting it in half, like an hour and 49 minutes for that.
That's awesome.
That was pretty crazy.
Awesome. Well, Josh, thanks. I know it's a long day for you always on Monday. So thanks for joining us. Jacob, thanks for producing. And guys, thanks for listening and watching. And we'll see you guys next time.
Tune back in a few minutes for the select break. If you're bored, come watch it.